guys, this is a very special episode of the Fast Lane Car. I'm here with Nick Ashby.
How's it going?
From Rockstar Performance Garage.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
And we're in the SEMA Concept Tucson that's going to the show. And we're here 2 weeks ahead of the show, running through desert. Right? This doesn't happen every day, does it?
Tucson for 2015 SEMA.
Okay.
It's the brand new body that's coming out next year.
Okay.
You know, and we got a phone call from Mike over at Hyundai,
Okay.
and he was like, "Hey, you guys build a lot of crazy off-road vehicles." And we're like, "Yeah." He was like, "You guys want to build a Tucson?" And I'm like, "Well, what model is it?" And he goes, "It's the 2016."
Okay.
And I was like, "The 2016? Well, what does that one look like?" So I guess Germany had just had their auto show, so he sends me over a picture of it, and I'm like, "Ooh,
Okay.
that looks good."
All right.
I was like,
bigger wheel arches, maybe?
bigger openings. It was a lot more edgier of a design.
Mm-hmm.
The older ones were a lot more rounded. What's unique about the suspension in this is we have a 32-inch tire. Now, obviously, the tire in a practical world is a little too big for this car, the way it's set up right now, because you don't have the up travel that you should have for a 32-inch tire.
Okay.
You could fit a 31-inch tire on this, about 9 inches wide, and go anywhere you want to go and not have the issues.
Okay.
But a 32 1050 gives it more of that off-road stance look that we're looking for.
Yeah. How much is it lifted right now from stock?
Right now, stock, this vehicle's the top of the roof line of this vehicle is 6 inches higher.
Wow.
Than that. And now you're seeing us turn this car right now. We're almost at full turn, and we're not rubbing. I want to have this thing at Moab, Easter Jeep Safari, and I want to get some stuff for Hyundai. Car and driver called me out and said this thing will probably never see the dirt. I already put it in the dirt 5 minutes ago.
Yes, and we're going to do more of that,
yes,
right?
We're ready to do some more right now. We actually designed a new oil baffled bronze micron filtered oil catch can.
Okay.
It's all billet. It's pretty badass. It's a Rockstar Performance Garage part.
Okay.
We actually worked with Mishimoto in designing. I wanted something that was small and compact, but would still have a good filtration system. We boost a lot of our vehicles, whether they're turbo, like our twin turbo diesels we have,
Okay.
or they're all supercharged, like our Jeeps we have. They're all supercharged.
Okay.
The great thing about the suspension that's in this is we did this 2.5-inch suspension from King, typical of what you would find in, in our off-road trucks, that kind of stuff. You know what we have in here is we have the 2.5-inch coilover in the front end,
Okay.
fully adjustable. We could pick this thing up another 2 inches just with that suspension. And then in the rear, we have just a typical coil you would find, a progressive coil. And then we have a 2.5-inch remote reservoir King shock, but it's fully adjustable on the fly with, just basically a quick shift knob that changes all the valving inside the shock, 32-point adjustable. And so right now I have it on full stiffness, you know what I mean? So as we go through higher and stuff like this, we're gonna get a little bit of bounce back there, but the shock is gonna absorb most of it, not put it on the coil. We just took a tire that was typically running a 28-inch tire, and we have a 32-inch tire, but it's a metric, so its equivalent is a 33. So we're running a 33-inch tire technically on a Tucson, because it's like 32.6, which this car was never designed. The engineering was never designed to run this tire. So the transmission wasn't designed, the gearbox were, the differentials were, nothing was designed to run this tire.
All the CV joints and the angles, everything.
Yeah, it's like, so what happens is the higher you lift the car, the closer the tires suck in. So the front tires suck closer towards the center, and the back suck closer. So what happens is that starts hitting the plastic. when you start, when you go through suspension, the tires are getting closer and closer.
Okay.
So full droop, they make contact.
Okay.
So that's what starts clipping parts off, that kind of stuff. When we build a car, like we've done some Jeeps for like Dan Henderson and some other famous people, and when we do stuff like that, the one thing I say to them is, I'll do it for you, but the only way I'm going to do it for you is if you go out and you use it. I'm not going to build you some showpiece that's going to sit on a trailer and collect dust.
Right.
The builds we do are functional, and we want to see that. Is all the functionality. We didn't want to just stick a light bar on the vehicle. Just plant something on somewhere, or plant a rack on, or just like take one of those, so to say, universal parts that everyone puts on these CUVs or SUVs because no one makes anything for it. So all the stuff that's on this, from the bumpers that have like the rocker plates on them and the skid plates to the roof rack that we built, they're all water jet, fully designed parts to this year of Tucson.
Nick would not let me drive the Rockstar Performance Garage Tucson. He was really concerned about that rear fender problem because it's a balance. Do you go all out and damage the car before the show, or do you try to save it? I had a great time here at the Hyundai Proving Grounds. Come back to tflcar.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. And look behind me, a whole video production going on. See you soon. So the suspension is working really well. Soaking up the bumps.
And while you're out in the great outdoors, one of the things that I've always wanted, and what I actually functionally would use, is if I'm out there and I always have a lot of gadgets and things with me, whether it's my laptop or my cameras, I want to keep it secure and safe. So we installed a truck vault storage system that's lockable, completely secure,